Okay, it actually took me a while growing up to actually get used to the idea of watching movies that were homegrown, movies that were just like mine, where they were made with like consumer cameras, um, and kind of distributed around. Do you have to be in here every single fucking time I got shit to say? Well then go, bro. Walk it off. Ah, get out of here before I put this drill through your head, bro. Move. Get out of here. Get out. So, anyway, and it took a few films to kind of change my mind. That made me realize that hey, what I was doing could actually be quite entertaining to other people other than myself. And come on, buddy, just roll. Dick brain. She's in heat. This cat is in heat. There's two movies. There's two indie films that I have something of an obsession for. One is Damon Packard's Reflections of Evil. Reflections of Evil. Reflections of Evil. And then there is Jordan Harris and Andrew Schrader's Fever Night. And I think these roughly, possibly came out around the same time. And they're both extremely psychedelic films. Or it's filled with... You watch these, if you can, if you're able to, watch these films back to back at like 2 o'clock in the morning when like you're delirious, and you'll have the best time ever, because they're almost like companion pieces to one another, but completely done on separate sides of the coast. But they're both films that are just low budgety but extremely entertaining and kind of artsy. Um, it's all about the editing and the sound and just great films. Great films. So Fever Night for me is a film that I watch all the time. I make sure I watch it maybe once every few months just so I can remind myself how cool independent films actually are. Because right now, there is a lot of poorly made films circulating around out there. And it's kind of disheartening to see. But I think, like all, even Hollywood movies, things kind of come in trends and fads and stuff. So, or maybe this is all it was, but horror films kind of take the biggest hit when it comes to being low budget, micro budget stuff, because for the right amount of money, you have to be able to offer your audience some bang for the buck, and that always comes in the form of nudity and just gross out fucking shock moments and stuff. Which makes sense from like a business point of view. It makes sense. I mean, what's gonna sell? Fucking nudity and gore and other crazy shit. So right now, the filmmakers are realizing that cameras are more readily available, editing software. It's all becoming so fucking easy to get your hands on all this shit to make a film. So right now, everyone and the mother is in like this big like dick swinging measuring contest with one another who can make the sickest fucking shit. And it's coming out. All these movies are coming out faster. They're getting, they're getting more vile. I mean, that's fun. There's whole groups and websites devoted to the sickest and sleaziest shit around the net, man. If you want to watch them, I mean, that's great. But you know what? There's only so many movies I want to see where people are fucking puking all the time, man. So, going back to the beginning, you have gems. These gems just floating in a sea of fucking shit. One of them's Fever Night. The other one is Reflections of Evil. And quickly in the opening moments of both films, you quickly realize that you're watching something that was kind of labored over, that was made with some sort of dignity and love for not only movies but a certain, I don't know, respect for art itself. They're just there was some brains put into it. At no point did I see myself. Well, this movie was clearly made by a bunch of guys who were just kind of watching some autopsy videos, jerking off, figuring out, hey, how can we fucking put all this shit together? No, these were really fucking, I don't know, just amazing films. So, Fever Night, let's read some reviews from the back. An anvil approach of in-your-face violence. I don't necessarily agree with that. Because I didn't think it was a pretty violent movie, and other stuff. But the thing, the one review that pops out here that I can relate to, it makes Suspiria look like a Disney movie, in the sense that Fever Night is extremely stylized with from its editing to the music and to just the way it looks and the way it's lit and just the way it was shot. It's fucking trippy, man. So we got these three characters who decide to go out into the woods and raise some fucking demonic spirits or Satanists. I mean, because it is Fever Night, aka a band of satanic outsiders. I think I'm scowling too much because my fucking brain hurts. My brain hurts now. And after watching both these films, which I made the misfortune of doing, and now my brain is ready to explode. And it's actually pretty neat because at the beginning of Fever Night there actually is a disclaimer. What the fuck does it say? Something about we're not liable or watch this movie may fuck you up. It may fuck you up psychiatrically and physically. You may just fucking die. Your brain may implode. So watching these two movies together was a bad idea. Because now my eyes have to take like an hour to fucking readjust. So, you have, in Fever Night, you have Terry, girlfriend of Elliot, and Warren, which is Elliot's like best friend, and for whatever reason, it's like, hey, let's get all Satan-y with this fucking deli meat in the middle of the fucking woods, and things go horribly wrong. Terry gets run over by the car because the car's stuck in mud, and they're trying to push it, and suddenly she's like, ah! So she eats some fucking mud. She's she's alive, but she's catatonic, which offers some really weird, surreal moments, creepy moments in the movie, where she's suddenly moving from like point A to point B, and I'm like, who's moving Terry around? Isn't she dead? I don't know. And then one of my favorite characters is Elliot, because he has these really offbeat lines of dialogue, and the way he delivers them, which is always in these like extreme close-ups where his eyes are fucking bulging out of his face, and he's just sweaty, and he's just saying some really fucking kooky shit. And Warren's just all like, well, I don't know, man, what's up? And he's all like, I'll tell you what's up. This shit's going down. It's just, it's a fun movie. The dialogue, alright, I'm still running at a good pace here. The dialogue is so much fun, and they keep moving from like scenario to like scenario where like something else fucked up is in a way. It's almost like a horror adventure movie in the middle of the woods at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And Reflections of Evil is sort of the same way, where it's a psychedelic trip, but it's also like literally it's a trip. It's like a midnight adventure where you're taking these characters through like this fucked up set of circumstances. And in the process of doing so, through this journey, a lot of really wicked, cool like visuals. What's this? I got a notification on my screen from somebody else that had no consequences. So they're going through the woods, and in both films, they just keep running into more and more fucked up, strange things. And the beauty about these films is that they're low budget but at the same time, so much love and detail was put into the effects and the visuals themselves. Personally, I would never fuck with visual effects because I'm just not skilled like that. So when I see other people doing things that I wish I knew how to do, I'm just like, fucking right on, man. Awesome stuff. So Fever Night, at the end of the night, is just a movie that it stays with you. I mean, you're watching it and you're a little delirious and you feel like you're fucking in the movie with these characters. Just a really a memorable, great viewing experience from the first time I watched this. So whenever I feel like personally taking a trip through the woods where all the demons are and all the weird shit, I watch Fever Night. And Reflections of Evil is about Bob. Now Bob is a huge... Damon actually decided to star in this himself, and it's a movie he put together through inheritance money. So he dumped all this money into this movie. And another great movie that I just fucking love. So Bob is just traveling around LA selling watches. Is it LA? It is LA. But Damon's trademark, and the people who know his film, is his editing. And there's a very... To me, the way I know something is Damon Packard is by the crazy fucking sound effects from his movie. The way things move, everything that moves has a sound to it. So it's again, another really trippy fucking movie. So Bob is just going through LA on a mission, searching for his dead sister, who's also a ghostly type figure. So we basically just have Bob running into people with machine guns, people with dogs, strange, just fucking weird, man. Just leave it at that. Just exploding heads. Bums on street corners want to fucking murder each other in crazy voiceovers and the way people... It's such a trip, man. So Fever Night is psychedelic midnight madness going on in the middle of the night. And Reflections of Evil is pretty much the same thing, but it's happening in LA during the day. But somehow it manages to have this really surreal, okay, this is not taking place here type effect. But goddamn, just both films, great fucking films, man. Come on, Kid Cat. Cats are all over the place, man. I think the cats are the things that are giving me a headache. So that's pretty much it, man. So what happened to these filmmakers? Bad People Productions, Motion Pictures. Right now they have out The Age of Reason, which is the opposite. It's the only way I could describe The Age of Reason. It is the extreme opposite of what this is. This is completely uncaged, unrelenting fucking madness. And that's the way we love them over here. So Age of Reason is currently playing maybe in your area, so that's something worth checking out. Reflections of Evil, Damon Packard, somewhat of a legend. A legend, yes, I fucking said it, a legend. All around awesome guy. Who, I don't know, he continues to work on it at his own pace, under his own set, but he has a bunch of other stuff that's just as fun as Reflections of Evil. But has he made another film like Reflections of Evil thus far? No. Sadly, Damon has not really followed up Reflections of Evil with anything with that fucking oomph. But Damon is a character in himself. Man, I'm not insulting Damon at all. Damon's helped me out multiple occasions. I wish his ass would just get up and... I guess my problem is I love the films that these directors have made, and I want them to do more of the same shit I love them to do, which is just a horrible thing to ask of somebody. To be like, hey, can you make something like your first film? Because I loved it that much. I don't think you can't really ask any of. I don't know. You can't do that. So that's what I gotta say about these two fucking films. I could not talk about Fever Night without talking about Reflections of Evil and vice versa. Definitely things worth checking out. So that's it. Now I need some Tylenol.